Southampton Under-18s concluded their league campaign with a 3-0 defeat to Aston Villa at Staplewood on Saturday morning. Armani Little, Harley Willard and Ollie Cook, who have all been regularly involved with the Under-21s, started for Anthony Limbrick's side, who beat Villa at Bodymoor Heath earlier this season. Aston Villa started with Rashaan Hepburn-Murphy up front, who's the league's second top goal scorer. Oscar Kvech-Canning had the chance to put Saints ahead inside the opening minute, but his header sailed wide of the left-hand post. As expected, Hepburn-Murphy looked dangerous from the off. It took Ollie Cook's block to stop him in this instance. Andre Green gave Saints a slight scare with this header as it fell narrowly wide of Harry Isted's goal. Saints were off the hook here when Harry McCurdy thought he'd scored. The lineswoman promptly lifted her flag to disallow the strike. Olafella Olomola was linking up well in the number 10 role and set off Josh DeBayo, but the left-back couldn't angle his effort on target as it was fired well over. The second half didn't start great for Saints. Inside the first minute, Hepburn-Murphy was played through with a long ball from the back, and he beat Harry Isted one-on-one to give Villa the lead. Substitute Callum O'Hare threatened to net a second, but his shot went just wide of Isted's right-hand post. Not long later and it was 2-0 to the visitors. Villa captain Rory held on the ball midfield and set through Hepburn-Murphy to finish for his second of the game. As Saints tried to force a way back into the match, DeBayo played in Olomola over the top, but his touch was a little too heavy and goalkeeper Charlie Bannister advanced to take the ball. Hepburn-Murphy was denied a hat-trick as the game grew old. He was found just inside the 6-yard box, but Isted made himself big to keep the score at just 2. Again, Isted was on call to thwart Hepburn-Murphy's effort. This volley was parried well by the Saints goalkeeper. Saints failed to create any real opportunities in the second half. This ball in from DeBayo was dealt with well by Bannister under pressure. With just a few minutes remaining, Villa put the game to bed. Alfie Jones tripped Ryan Strain as he burst through into the box, and skipper Hales stepped up to take all 3 points back to the Midlands. There was almost time for Villa to grab a fourth, but Hales' long-range effort smashed off the crossbar. Southampton now have a week off before entering the playoff stage of this year's Barclays Under-18 Premier League campaign. Final score at Staplewood, Southampton 0, Aston Villa 3.
I thought it was quite tight first half. 2 teams sort of trying to play good football. They dropped off us a little bit and let us play out from the back, and after the first 10 minutes thought we started to play through the thirds quite well and just needed that little bit of edge or cutting edge in and around that final third. I thought we had a couple of chances in the first half, but in a quite even first half, we said at half time we've got to make sure we stay tight, keep the clean sheet second half and go from there, and hopefully we'll get some chances. But yeah, it killed us obviously early on in the game, in the second half, early on in the second half, conceding the goal from really, I mean, the first 2 goals were really from our own mistakes, which was disappointing, yeah.
I imagine that is the most disappointing aspect of the performance, the mistakes again, like we've talked about in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Not being able to stop them.
Yeah, well, it was I mean, like last week you could say a good performance, but a couple of individual errors, especially with the first goal, and then again today, just 2 individual errors. We got caught playing out with one where we need to be better when we're playing out, and there's obviously always going to be a risk involved in playing out, but I think that we need to be better in there. Do you know what I mean? We need to move the ball quicker and not get caught in possession when you are playing out, especially in the dangerous areas.
That rounds off the league campaign. Now looking ahead to the playoffs, is it a chance to sort of start afresh in a way? Yeah,
I think so. I mean we'll have next weekend, as in we'll have no game, so we'll go back to training as we are this week and work hard, and then I think maybe a rest from the games programme for 1 week will do us good, and then we're straight back into it from that. But there's plenty to play for these players. Do you know what I mean? For their own individual selves, trying to get contracts or trying to progress up into Martin's team and push them on into the first team. So there's still plenty to play for.
It's a big incentive, that, isn't it, to sort of be able to push on into the under-21s, and they've got the perfect chance to do that in the playoffs.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in those games leading up towards the back end of the season, it can plant a lot of seeds in a lot of people's minds for where they see them for next season. So, yeah, they need to be performing, but I think if they perform well in the team and do the things right for the team, then that will help them push on individually anyway.